Fellas, welcome back to another video. My name is Raterman, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how much gear you get from playing 1 year of college football. So this is probably one of the most common questions I get asked, which is pretty funny because most people care more about the gear than anything else. So yeah, today's video, that's what we're going to be answering. What was that? How much gear do you get? That's tough to answer because it really depends on what team you play for. Let's dive in. If you're new to the channel, make sure you gently tap the like and the subscribe button. I don't want YouTube to notice how fast we're growing. It's a couple, maybe 20 to 30 subscribers a month. So just gently tap it, make sure nobody sees you, notices anything. We want to keep the growth going without alerting the higher ups at YouTube. So that'd be awesome if you guys could keep supporting on the down low. And yeah, let's jump into the video. All right, guys, so like I said, a lot of people slide in my DMs and they ask me questions about what kind of gear do you get? Does everyone on the team get the same gear? Does everyone get the same amount of gear? How much gear do you get? Do you have to bring any gear yourself? Are any of the players on gear? Never mind, not the last one. But anyway, let's jump right into the topic. So basically, I'll start with, do you have to bring any of your own gear? At any level, I think the answer is no. They will provide you with all of the essentials. So that includes, helmet, pads, anything that you need to go out and practice football, as well as workout gear. So that's pretty common across the board. That means tennis shoes, socks, shirts, shorts, literally everything that you need to be a part of the team they're going to provide you with. Did I mention if you win the Big Ten championship, you might get something like this? Just something to consider. So beyond the normal amount of gear that you get that you need to work out and practice in, I'm going to be answering how much gear you get generally within 1 year of playing football there. So the first thing I want to point out is it really depends on who the sponsor of your school is in terms of the actual brand that's sponsoring your athletics. It also depends on probably the budget of the school and how well the football team does and produces in terms of money. That probably reaps different benefits in terms of the gear that you can get, as well as how good your team does if they make it to bowl games and things like that. So I'm talking from the perspective of a top D1 school, best in the nation. We've got Ohio State representing. First and foremost, we're sponsored by Nike, which is one of the top tier, the top tier thing you can be sponsored by. So kind of to break it down, you pretty much get gear at just random points throughout the year, but it really depends on what point you are throughout the season, what kind of clothes they give you, and what kind of gear they're giving out. So for example, if it's the winter time, it's the beginning of a new year, they're probably gonna, give you workout gear, shirts for, winter workouts, things like that, sweatpants, sweatshirts, different things to wear throughout the winter jackets. But then they have other gifts that they'll give out. Like for us, they gave us just randomly, after a hard day of workouts, they gave us some LeBrons, and then we all got to go play basketball. I probably have literally 3 or 4 pairs of LeBrons just from 1 year. Because LeBron is actually one of the sponsors of us as well as Nike. So his section of Nike sponsors us. So yeah, he gives us random gifts like that. School time, they'll start giving you backpacks with your name on them. So this we'll wear around. Another backpack I got. Yeah, so it really depends on the time of year and kind of what you're getting. During fall camp, they give you a ton of stuff kind of as an incentive for all the hard work you're doing. Honestly, I have so much stuff from literally just 1 year that I can't even, I live in Texas now, so all my stuff's back in Ohio, or most of my stuff is back in Ohio, but even the stuff that I have here and just the general clothes that I wear around on a day-to-day basis, a lot of them are Ohio State. I would say overall they give you a ton of stuff. In terms of like athletic gear, like gloves and cool things like this that you get throughout the year, just different games, there's really, it could be an unlimited amount of stuff because you could use, a couple different pairs of gloves every game, or every 2 games, or every couple practices. A lot of receivers would do stuff like that. In terms of cleats and gear like this, you know, these are pretty worn out, as you can see. You can really get new cleats and stuff anytime you want, as long as, you know, you're not abusing it and you're trying to go to just get free stuff for no reason. The equipment guys got that stuff on lockdown. Big questions I get is there a difference between what the walk-ons get versus, you know, a starter or somebody else? And honestly, no. Everybody on the team gets issued pretty much the exact same stuff. Walk-ons, I would say, have a little bit less of a choice if there's something like, you know, numbers or things like that that are being picked, obviously. And then I would also say that if you're like a high profile, you know, scholarship guy or like one of the main starters, you could pretty much go to the equipment guys and get whatever you need at any point in time. Whereas if you're a walk-on, it's a little bit more like you don't want to look like you're trying to take a bunch of stuff, so you don't really go to the equipment guys and ask for that much extra stuff, if that makes sense. So there's a little bit of politics in terms of that, but overall, everyone gets a ton of stuff, and it's really cool. So that's, I mean, one of the huge perks of being at Ohio State or at a big school, you know, that has a budget and that is sponsored by a really cool place. So I'll just show you guys some of the stuff. You get shirts. I have pretty much an unlimited amount of shirts and clothes and pants and jackets. Here's some jerseys. Here's some gloves, here's some cleats, hats. One other major factor in how much gear you're gonna get is how good your team is doing. So if you make it to the Big Ten championship, and then you make it to a bowl game, and then you make it to another bowl game, then the chances are you're gonna have a lot more gear, just because at every single one of those games, they give you a ton of free stuff, and you have the chance to win even more stuff. So at Ohio State, if you win the Big Ten championship, if you beat Michigan, you'll get a Big Ten championship ring. You'll get a gold pants chain for beating Michigan. We get from some of the bowl games, you might get some watches, different things like this. Yeah, tons of little just gifts and gear. We got like an Amazon Alexa one year. Probably so they could spy on us. Alexa, stop listening. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. Honestly, if I had to sit here and show you every piece of gear I got, it would probably take a long time, so I'm not going to do that. But just know that if you do make it on a team that's a big D1 team, you're going to get a lot of gear, and it's going to be awesome. So that's one big perk. But definitely do not do it for the gear, because you're not going to survive. I have not met a single person that walked on that just wanted the gear that ended up making it. So if you're a walk-on or really even a scholarship guy, you know, now that I come to think of it, you're definitely not going to make it if you do it just for the gear. So keep that in mind. But honestly, the gear is pretty sweet. So if you can, try to, you know, keep that in the back of your mind. It's a cool perk. Do the best you can to make a team, whether you're a scholarship guy or a walk-on. It's an awesome experience. Hopefully that gives you guys a better idea, answers your questions about, yes, everybody gets gear. Yes, it doesn't really matter that much if you're a walk-on or a scholarship guy. Yes, it's a ton of gear. And win games and you go to bowl games, you're going to get even more gear. It's crazy. So hopefully that answers your guys' main questions. All right, so that's the end of the video, guys. Like I said before, gently tap the like button, gently tap the subscribe button. If you know any friends that want to gently do the same thing, tell them to keep it on the down low. That we don't want YouTube figuring out how fast I'm growing right now. You know, if they see 40 subscribers pouring in a month, they might, you know, alert somebody at YouTube to look into our channel and see what we're doing over here. So just keep it on the down low. And yeah, I'm gonna real quick, I'm gonna grab a bunch of the gear and pull it all together and make a thumbnail. So just be patient here.